How's it going, everybody? The Seer here. Today we have our round 3 matchup for Cosmic Crucible. Our opponent is Ninja, who is actually a rematch. I played against them a few weeks ago. They're really good players, so we should have a fun matchup today. Now, based on their defense, it looks like we're going to have to be very careful as far as how we plan our attacks. So let's go ahead and check out the TCP and their defense, so that way we can try to plan this attack out. Ninja is 142 million TCP. So this is going to be about a 35 million power punch up, so it's going to be pretty interesting today. Let's go ahead and check out the defenses next. In stage 1, they have their Spider Society with Mephisto. For stage 2, they have the Black Order with Dr. Doom. Stage 3 is the Annihilators with Super Skrull and Vahl. In stage 4, we have the 3-piece X-Treme X-Men with Rogue, and they added in Ares, so that's a pretty interesting 5th. In stage 5, it's a pretty interesting mix as well. We have Sasquatch and Guardian from Alpha Flight, Captain America, Silver Surfer, and Dorm. And in stage 6, we have the Hive Mind with Black Knight. Now I'm going to have to take some chances on this because, as you noticed, they have a lot of things on offense, so this is going to be a very close matchup. For stage 1, I'm actually going to try to go for a 1 or 2 shot on this. Because this is in stage 1, I could try to get the tunnel down on the Mephisto, and by not taking as many sacks, this should help us in the long run of this matchup. We're going to go in here with the Cabal team, Kang and Titania. As far as ISOs, we're keeping Titania a raider, everybody else is going to be a striker, so we can tunnel down that Mephisto early. Titania will be going first in this matchup. We're going to target that Mephisto and use the ultimate. That's going to call all of these strikers in, and we're going to get some pretty good damage on Mephisto right off the bat. For Kang's turn, we're going to stay targeted on the Mephisto, and we're actually going to use the basic. That's going to get the triple tap from Kang, and all the assist in on the strikers from the Cabal team. Here the enemy Spider-Man Pavitra ends up taking his turn, and he ended up targeting the Titania during this attack. Mephisto did end up bleeding out. Now we're going to try to take out the Peter B. Parker. I want to get him gone, so that way the follow-up attack is going to be a lot easier if we end up failing it. So Kang will be using the ultimate on that Peter B. Parker. Iron Patriot's going to stay targeted on Peter B. Parker as well and use the special. Again, all of the strikers are going to call in the assist, and we get the kill on Peter B. Parker. Right here, the Spider-Man Noir ended up using his ultimate targeted on the Namor, unfortunately. We did end up losing him, however, we are in pretty good position here to where we can do a very easy cleanup when we end up failing this attack now. Here, Leader ended up doing the special into the Penny. We get some pretty good damage on her, and then she ended up using the ultimate onto our Iron Patriot, so we do get a stun on him. For Kang's turn, we're going to target the Spider-Man Pavitra and end up using the special on him. Again, that calls some assist in. We couldn't quite get the kill on the Pavitra though. Here we did end up losing the Kang, and with the Iron Patriot still stunned, this is pretty much a lost cause right now. So we will end up pulling as many abilities as we can, then we'll come in later and get the cleanup on this one. For stage 3, we're going to end up using our Mercs for money with Apocalypse. Now there are some issues on this attack that I'm going to point out for you, and then I'm going to show you what changes I made and why later on. The enemy Super Skrull ends up going first here. He ends up targeting the Deadpool and using the special, which ends up doing a rewind to the Deadpool and the Daken. Gore follows that up by doing the ultimate, which ends up putting the safeguard on the Gladiator. I'm also behind the 8 ball right now because I did end up losing Deadpool and Dakin right off the bat. For Apocalypse's turn, I end up doing the ultimate, and I'm stuck on the Gladiator because of that safeguard. I try to do the Falcon Punch into the Gladiator, but we don't get enough damage, so he ends up staying alive. Super Skrull ends up doing the ultimate into the Panda Pool, and Thanos Endgame ends up doing the special into the Panda Pool as well. Panda Pool and Old Man Logan end up bleeding out, and the Panda Pool doesn't come back, unfortunately. The Old Man Logan, we end up doing the ultimate, and we do get a lot of bleeds out there, however it's a little bit too late. So right there I do end up losing the Apocalypse, so we do end up backing out and we have to make a change to this team. As far as the change goes, we do end up dropping Dakin and we end up putting Ultimus in his place. Because Gladiator spawns with that taunt, Ultimus is able to go much quicker and hopefully we can get ahead of the enemy and actually make some pretty good leeway instead of playing behind the 8 ball here. Our Ultimus will be going first. We end up using the ultimate into the Gladiator, and that was able to flip his positive effects into negative effects, so now he does have a disrupt on him. For Old Man Logan's turn, we end up targeting the Gore and we end up using the special. That does end up putting the stun on him, so we don't have to worry about that ultimate going off so early. Thanos Endgame does end up using the special into the Apocalypse, and that does end up pushing our Apocalypse, so we are able to use the ultimate now. As far as the Falcon Punch goes, we do end up targeting the Gladiator, and we use the Falcon Punch to get rid of him. For Pandapul's turn, we target the Gore again, and we use the ultimate. That does put a lot of positive effects on us, so that does end up pushing the Super Skrull, so he ends up using the ultimate. And the Super Skrull does end up killing our Apocalypse because of that. For Old Man Logan's turn, we use the ultimate into the Gore, and that does end up getting the kill on him. Thanos Endgame's passive does end up proccing, and Deadpool and Pandapool get killed off, but they do end up coming back. Deadpool and Old Man Logan end up targeting down the Super Skrull, we get the kill on him, and now we have a very easy kill on the remaining Vahl and Thanos Endgame. I do feel that overall, Ultimus made a great addition to this team. For Stage 4, we're going to end up using our Superior 6 team with Vulture. Because of the speed up that Nightcrawler gives, adding Vulture in here makes this matchup much easier, as we're able to take off the speed up from the opponent and end up putting speed up on ourselves. Vulture will be going first. The only enemy that we can target is that Ares, so we use the special on him, and that does end up putting the slow on Nightcrawler, Forge, and Ares. Green Goblin Classic's going to target the Nightcrawler, and we use the ultimate. Because he had the vulnerable on him, we do get the ISO attack on him as well. For Kraven's turn, we use the special into the Rogue, that gets the ability block on her, and we deal some nice AoE damage to the enemy team. Doc Ock is up, we use the special, that's going to get the Shocker summoned out on the field for us. For Spider Slayer's turn, we end up using the special onto the Rogue, and that does some massive damage to the enemy team. Shocker's going to use the special, that does end up putting the offense up on us, and we end up using the ultimate from Shocker to do a nice turn meter rewind. For Vulture, we use the ultimate, that ends up killing 3 of the members of the team, and now all we have left is going to be the Rogue and Gambit. Green Goblin Classic uses the special into the Gambit, so we get the kill on him. We don't have to worry about the pings anymore. Now we can tunnel down the Rogue and get the victory. For stage 2, we're going to end up using our new warriors with Guardian. This should take out the Black Order team fairly easy, and we're going to be able to control that Dr. Doom much easier with this team. Gwenpool will be going first in this matchup. We're going to start by targeting the Coal Obsidian and using the special. For Firestar's turn, we target the Dr. Doom and we use the ultimate. That is a very nice turn meter rewind to the 3 characters. Ebony Maw does end up bleeding out, so we do get an extra ping on the Coal Obsidian. Deathpool targets the Coal Obsidian again, we use the special, that spreads those negative effects, and we do end up getting the kill from Coal Obsidian and Dr. Doom. For Gwenpool's turn, we use the ultimate, that ends up flipping those negative effects into positive effects, along with getting the safeguard on us. Guardian ends up using the ultimate into the Thanos, and we get the victory. For stage 6, we do end up doing a burn attack into the Hive Mind with Black Knight. However, the burn attack that we did was a mistake as far as the characters that we brought. The goal of the SAC team was to get the exhaust mechanic on the Black Knight, but I also want to make sure that we're not walking into the ultimate from Void Knight. This does end up happening to us, and you're going to see how bad the matchup ends up going, so this actually doesn't work, but I'm still going to show you what happens. For the team that we're going to end up using on this attack now is going to be the 3-piece Hive Mind. So we have Carnage, Red Goblin, and Void Knight, and we're bringing along the Tangled Web members. The 2099 is going to be able to use the ultimate to get off the Black Knight, and from there, we should be able to get ahead of the enemy to where we can get our turn meter going. So our 2099 will be going first. We're going to target the Black Knight and we use the ultimate. That's going to flip those positive effects into negative effects. For Spider Weaver's turn, we're going to target that Void Knight and use the ultimate, so we do get that trauma stun on him. For Void Knight's turn, we're going to target the Red Goblin and use the ultimate. Carnage is going to use the ultimate to the Red Goblin, and we do get a kill on him, and now we have the train going. Red Goblin's going to use the ultimate, we get more kills, and this matchup goes much easier. I should have used this as opposed to that Secret Offenders team. I just thought I pulled that Void Knight ultimate to where I didn't have to worry about it. I was unfortunately incorrect about that. For stage 5, we're going to end up bringing our Eternals, Kestrel, Ironman Infinity War, and Northstar. The Northstar is going to be able to take off the Revive onces, and the Eternals should be able to start flipping all those positive effects into negative effects. This matchup should go very easy for us. Our Northstar will be going first in this matchup. We're going to start by using our ultimate that flips those positive effects into negative effects. For Icarus's turn, we use the ultimate. We do end up getting the double tap as we were able to get rid of the Guardian. Kestrel's going to end up targeting the Captain America. We do use the special that kills the Captain America along with the Dorm. Now we're going to end up using the ultimate from Cersei into the Silver Surfer, and we're basically just going to start tunneling him down. He's really the only threat because of that rework that he had, so he does have much higher stats. Northstar's going to use the special into the Silver Surfer, and we keep hitting into that defense down, so we do get those extra pings into the Sasquatch. The Sasquatch does end up getting killed off, and now we have a very easy cleanup into that Silver Surfer. For the cleanup on stage 1, we're going to end up using our Secret Defenders team with Spider-Man Noir. We did make them all strikers, so we're going to be able to get those assists, and we should be able to withstand the enemy's Spider-Man Noir going first. We should be able to counterattack into this, and basically get the victory off of that. The enemy Spider-Man Noir is going to go first. He targets our Photon and uses the ultimate, and does get a lot of bleeds on our characters. Our Spider-Man Noir goes next. We're going to target the Penny and use the ultimate as well. That calls all the assists in, and we do some pretty significant damage to her. Ghost Rider Robbie's going to use the special into the Penny as well. Again, that's going to call all the striker hits in, and we get the kill on her. For Ms. Marvel Heartlight, we're going to use the ultimate into the enemy Spider-Man Noir. That calls the assist in, we get the kill on him, and now we have a very easy cleanup on the Spider-Man Pavitra. And we unfortunately did end up losing this matchup. Our opponent ended up getting a 48,960, whereas we got a 48,574. The extra dropped attack that I had in stage 6 definitely cost me this matchup. This was a close matchup, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Ninja is a very good player. Let's go ahead, check out the defenses to see what exactly happened. For stage 1, we end up using our Cabal team with Kang and Titania. We were able to take out the Mephisto and the Peter B. Parker. I was very happy that we did this attempt, because if we didn't, we would have lost by a whole lot worse. The cleanup using the Secret Defenders and Spider-Man Noir worked as well. We did end up getting a 79-62. For stage 2, we end up using the New Warriors with Guardian into the Black Order Dr. Doom team. We were able to make pretty good work of this. We got an 83-67. For stage 3, this was another mistake that we made. We end up taking our Mercs for money with Apocalypse. We did have to back out due to the bad targeting and the enemy Gore pulling his ultimate off, which did make it to where we couldn't get off the enemy Gladiator. By dropping the Dakin and adding the Ultimates, we were able to clear this. We end up getting a 79-56. For stage 4, we end up using our Superior 6 with Vulture. This ended up doing very well into the Extreme X-Men with Rogue and Ares. We end up getting an 83-64. For stage 5, we end up taking our Eternals, Ironman Infinity War, Kestrel, and Northstar into this mismatched team of Alpha Flight, Captain America, Silver Surfer, and Dorm. We got a pretty good efficiency score of an 83-64. For stage 6, we ended up doing the sack, and then we tried going in with our Secret Defenders. That failed miserably for us, so we did end up going in with our own Hive Mind Tangled Web combination team, and we were able to get a 75-61. And for our defense, our opponent ended up taking in their Cabal, Kang, and Titania into our Extreme X-Men, Rogue, and Dorm. This did end up getting the one-shot to where they got an 83-69. For stage 2, our opponent ended up taking their Illuminati without Captain Britain as they were saving them for elsewhere, and that went into our Weapon X Out of Time team. This got them an 83-67. For stage 3, our opponent took some miscellaneous characters into our Infinity Watch and ended up dropping that attack. They were able to use their Superior 6 team with Quicksilver, and that was able to make quick work into the Infinity Watch. This got them a 79-54. For stage 4, this is where I had my Spider Society with Mephisto team. They ended up doing the 2 burn attacks into here, and then they followed that up by using their Secret Defenders with Cosmic Ghost Rider. That was able to get the victory of a 75-62. For stage 5, I thought they had a pretty interesting team in here to get rid of my Illuminati with Sasquatch. They used their Superior 6 with Vulture. They dropped Green Goblin Classic though for the Old Man Logan. Typically what I've seen is people will keep the Green Goblin Classic, but they were able to use this without the Green Goblin Classic in its place. This did get them at 83.56, so props to you on this attack. For stage 6, my opponent ended up using their Red Hulk, Apocalypse, Tangled Web, and Captain Britain into my Annihilator Super Skrull team. This did hit them pretty hard on the efficiency to where they got at 83.52. So I do want to give a big shout out to my opponent today of Ninja. They were a fantastic opponent, and hopefully we can get that rubber match between us. I really want to see who would win best out of 3. Both of us did have mistakes as far as our attacks went, to where they end up dropping the attack on the Infinity Watch, and I end up messing that stage 6 attack. If both of those didn't happen, my opponent still would have won today, so I was very happy as far as the picks that I did, to where I tried to take out their Mephisto team, trying to go for that 1 or 2 shot instead of the burn attacks. I still made some other mistakes along the way, but it's early in the season, we're still trying to find our footing, and I'm happy to actually lose this matchup to them. If you guys did end up enjoying this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.